The biggest thing that to win these elections lately, like the last 2 years or whatever, hasn't been so much about policy or somebody's ethics or anything like that. It's been mostly about narrative and I think they look at social media as like, okay, we need to gauge social media and try to base our voting or base our attack to promote or push for our election based on that.
Trending topics is the politics.
Right. Because it's not really like nobody cares about their plans or the strategy. It's all about what you did back then.
Yeah, they put out videos of Biden being like, remember he said this? See, he an asshole. Like,
right,
remember like, Trump did this? He's an asshole. That's all they ever do. It's the same shit all the time.
It's like you was in '94. Were you even alive? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
people were mad. I can't believe Biden did that. When was this? Before you were born?
Because that's
like people don't change over time. He that same exact guy right now. I bet you. Like, no, he's not. Like, what do you mean?
Right, and the other thing is, one thing I never questioned my parents or people older than me that lived before I got here and what they experienced or what their type of energy. If I was too young to really know what was going on, I'm not questioning the energy that was out back then.
Right, because you're right. It's a field thing. If you weren't there to experience it, you can't talk but so much to it. You just know what people wrote about, what people tell you about it. That's all you got to go on.
Right. And that's why it's just like the kids with Michael Jordan. They'll say, "Oh, look at this count." They weren't around to watch Mike play. They weren't around to understand the aura. You know what I mean? They weren't around to understand. So when they speak on stuff like this, it's just like you just looking at something that's in retrospect and in hindsight, instead of you don't know what was going on back then. And it's just odd that these people, when it comes to Kamala Harris, because I know this is one thing we want to touch on, there was a lot of black men attacking Kamala Harris, even though it was a lot of black women too. A lot.
I've never seen somebody just so she gets clowned by the left, clowned by the right. I'm like, why? And I wasn't her biggest fan, admittedly, but she got so much heat. And let's be clear, when the early rumblings came out, we knew she was going to get picked. Mm-hmm. He wanted a black woman. We knew that. He wanted to check that box because black women in South Carolina resurrected Biden's whole shit. He was dead in the water, and it was going to be Bernie. And then it was just like, nope, black people still love me because of Obama. And that's what got his ass back in good graces. So he was going to go black woman. So then he picks her, and it's just like, well, not her. How many people do you think are out there that he could have picked? And
that's the thing.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah, like you're looking at the politics, and it's like, okay, despite what they did in the past, I know what Trump and Pence are doing now.
Today. Yesterday.
Like
this week. Like
look how far we are just in the pandemic alone, based on just how it was handled by Trump and his crew. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, why would I want these same thing?
It's incompetence. I don't want incompetence. Period.
And it's just odd that it's like a lot of people are sitting there thinking that the president and vice president have more power than they actually do.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like you're sitting there expecting certain things from them that you shouldn't expect. So a lot of stuff that you want changed, you can change locally if you just knew your local councilman or you knew, had a relationship with them, instead of thinking, okay, well, the president owes me this. Even though the president's supposed to be doing certain things, it's a lot of channels and checks and balances that they have to go through before they get anything approved. But
no, that's fair. I mean, and even that, like, a lot of what he does is rubber stamped by the Senate. I mean, not to get, again, too political, but
yeah,
he gets to do what he does because he's given the ability to move unopposed. And that's the thing. I'll give the Republicans that shit, man. When they get the power, they be like, oh, whatever they want, we toe the company line.
Yeah,
Democrats get that shit. and they fucking Obama had to fight even with his own people. Well, I don't like that. I'm playing Obama. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, but that's what
nah.
people don't get. The elections they don't vote for.
Yeah, the Senate, the local, the council people. Like I see, going from local all the way up to like your House of Reps, all of them. Like, know who those people are, know where you are, and then know how they vote on shit. So if you see,
Right.
oh, they picking this and picking that, I don't want that dude out of here. Like, if you know that, but that's the thing that people bank on, and that's why Kanye can. That's why we're in a world where Kanye gets praised and Kamala gets shitted on because people don't know better because they don't try to know better, and the powers that be take advantage of that, and they want that. They want you to be focused on your 2K, my career, and fucking me and the TikTok legend. They want you focused on that shit so they can come in here and run the country with an iron fist as they see fit. And that's
Right.
exactly what we're running into. People don't know basic shit that you should know. So now you allow Kanye to come out and you be like, yeah, Kanye, that's a good idea. We should both. Are you serious? Why?
Yeah, like what? It's like one thing I know about Kamala Harris already is that she's not an idiot,
and that's enough.
right?
That should be the bare minimum. She's not stupid. Oh,
Right.
okay.
So
Well, let's hear what she got to say because she's not stupid.
right.
Like,
So now when you have people that are actually better intellectually, you get better decisions. So it's just like, yeah, like they got their issues, and yeah, obviously we want more for the black community and all this other stuff. But I'm not going to sit there and act like the other alternative. Well, I can't vote for that either because of this in '94, this back in 2000.
it's the weakest argument I've ever heard in terms of just like. And this what happened last time when it was a sad day when that dude won, but people I heard people say, well, Hillary and him, they're both bad. No, there's levels to shit.
Right.
There's levels. We have to be very, very careful to not just say, oh, well, they're both awful candidates. No. You may have things you don't like about both of them. One was someone who understands how to lead, and one was a reality star. If you can't determine the difference between the two, you need to do more research.
At the end of the day, yeah, you're sitting there not voting. Meanwhile, that's the reason why Trump won, because we didn't vote.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, not one, but like one person is actually incompetent and clearly not qualified for the job. Period. It could be that simple.
It's really that. It is that simple.
It's that.
There's nothing else to say about it. It is that simple. There's nothing else to talk about. But like
right.
when you think they're both the same, one asshole wins, and so now we're stuck with like, all right, well, let's hopefully we get rid of him now. Like maybe not. I'm expecting he may actually win again, which makes me so sad. But I'm like,
I don't. Well, you're not even try to get into that too long. But I don't think that he will, because of just how bad he's been.
Yeah, let's hope.
But the thing is, like, black folks talking about, oh, you couldn't, like, the way this like just something simple like this. I wouldn't say simple, but the way this pandemic was handled, and people complaining about how they can't do this, that, and the third, while all these other countries are pretty much back to normal.
I mean, even like, third world countries are better. That was bad.
And like, this is a prime example of why you go out and vote. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
America, please do your part. Please do your part. Please.
Right. And one more thing before we move on. You black folks out there, you want to talk about, I'm not voting unless you have an agenda. All right, well, what's the agenda? What
agenda do you want?
Right.
Tell us.
Because every other group, they come together. It's like, okay, we're going to give you this money. Here's our demands. Here's what we want. This is what we need, instead of expecting, okay, why would I expect 80-year-old Biden to know what we want?
That's a fact. That's a fact, yeah.
You're just going to assume he know what we need and what we want without a plan. And then somebody said, we want better schools. All right, well, how do you make better schools? What would make your school better?
Give us, what I mean? I think if there was more thought, again, I think people would say things because they're hot button. They get the likes, they get the retweets, whatever. They get the shares. I mean, if you want to have a real discussion, have a real discussion. To put a cap on this. If you got an issue, forget who you vote for, forget what you feel, forget all the views and whatever you got going on. Have a plan. If you want something from somebody, have a plan. If you want something from a candidate, have a plan. Don't just say, well, this isn't good enough. He didn't do enough 15 years ago that I just can't. No. That's stupid. Have a plan for today. Have a plan for tomorrow. Otherwise, leave it alone.
Right.
Or don't say nothing like the baby. Shut the fuck up. If you ain't got a plan, shut the fuck up. Please.
Right. That's how I look at it. I get a little triggered by it. Yeah, I get a little triggered by stuff like
I
that.
do. I feel you the same.
Yeah. Because I'm outside. I was raised by parents that's outside, that doing their thing. You know what I mean?
Outside.
Like
outside,
I come from doing work. We ain't never been dependent on the president for a handout. You know what I mean? Like you want to get some stuff done or some stuff changed, you got to go out there and do it. So
that's fair.
You know,
that's fair.
But whatever.